It was a frigid January morning, the kind where the air seemed to freeze with every breath. The sky hung low with leaden clouds, and a fine dusting of snow peppered the airport terminal windows. Inside, the bustling crowd filled the space with the clamor of hurried footsteps and the rhythmic clatter of suitcases. Police officer Mehmet patrolled the terminal, his eyes scanning the sea of passengers. Years of working in narcotics detection had sharpened his instincts, and today something unusual caught his attention. A strange, sharp scent cut through the familiar smells of travel, coffee, perfumes, and worn leather bags. Mehmet paused mid-step, his brow furrowing. This wasn't any scent he could easily identify. It was foreign, almost chemical. "This doesn't feel right," he muttered to himself, reaching for his radio. "Control, can you send the K9 unit to Terminal 2, West Gate? Something's off here." The radio crackled a quick confirmation. Mehmet's heart raced, his years of experience telling him this wasn't going to be a routine day. Within minutes, the K9 unit arrived, led by Zeus, a black and white German shepherd whose reputation as a skilled tracker preceded him. Zeus's trainer gave a quick nod to Mehmet. The dog's alert posture and sharp eyes showed he was ready to work. Mehmet crouched to meet Zeus's level, gently stroking his head. "All right, boy, let's see what you can find," he said. Zeus sniffed the air, his nose twitching. Then, without hesitation, he lowered his head to the ground and began moving. Mehmet and the small team followed closely, their footsteps echoing softly through the terminal. Zeus moved with purpose, weaving through crowds and luggage with astonishing precision. The tension in the air was palpable as travelers watched the dog and the officers. Finally, Zeus stopped near a cluster of passengers. He sniffed around a medium-sized suitcase and then sat, his signal for finding something suspicious. Mehmet's gaze immediately shifted to the owner, a middle-aged man with a beard. The man's face was pale, and beads of sweat glistened on his forehead despite the cold weather. "Sir, is this your suitcase?" Mehmet asked, his voice calm but firm. The man hesitated, his eyes darting around. Yes, it's mine. Is something wrong?" "Routine check. Please open the suitcase," Mehmet said, his sharp eyes not leaving the man's face. Reluctantly, the man unzipped the suitcase. Inside, there were clothes and personal items, neatly packed. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual. But then Mehmet's eyes caught a small metal box tucked in a corner. It was unmarked, plain, and suspiciously out of place among the other items. "What's this?" Mehmet asked, pointing to the box. "Just a gift," the man stammered. "Something small, nothing important." Mehmet carefully picked up the box, his senses on high alert. It felt heavy for its size. He opened it slowly, revealing a tiny glass jar inside. The jar contained a bright, iridescent purple liquid that shimmered under the terminal's fluorescent lights. Mehmet's experience told him this wasn't just a random item. "What is this?" Mehmet demanded, his tone more intense. "I don't know," the man blurted out, panic clear in his voice. "Someone asked me to deliver it. I swear I don't know what it is." Mehmet's instincts screamed that this was bigger than it seemed. He immediately instructed his team to send the jar to the lab for analysis. Meanwhile, the man was detained and taken in for questioning. Hours later, the lab results came back, and they were shocking. The liquid was identified as an extremely rare and highly potent chemical compound. Stolen from a top-secret research facility, it was rumored to be a key ingredient in the creation of biological weapons. This wasn't just an isolated incident. It was the tip of a much larger, more dangerous iceberg. Through intense interrogation, Mehmet and his team uncovered information about an international smuggling ring. The detained man was just a courier, a small cog in a vast and complex machine. The discovery triggered an immediate call to international law enforcement agencies, setting the stage for a massive, coordinated operation. Over the next several days, Mehmet and his team worked tirelessly, collaborating with intelligence agencies across borders. Every lead, every piece of evidence pointed to a larger network of criminals who had been operating under the radar for years. The chemical they intercepted was intended for a buyer with nefarious intentions, and stopping its delivery might have prevented a catastrophic event. That night, as Mehmet returned home, the weight of the day's events settled on him. He sat quietly, his thoughts racing through the possibilities of what could have happened if they hadn't acted swiftly. Zeus padded over to him, nudging his hand with his nose. Mehmet smiled, scratching the dog's ears. "You did good today, Zeus.